Bridgen.
Thank you, Mr Hollowbone, and it's a pleasure to serve under your chairmanship. Can I start by commending my honourable friend, the member for Mid-Derbyshire, for obtaining this debate, which is of huge local interest. I believe at this stage the most constructive way to deal with this matter is actually to look at how did we get here today and what can we do to ensure that no club and no fans end up in this situation again and suffer the anguish that the Derby fans have over many months. And I think we have to look at the historic actions, as mentioned by other colleagues, of the English Football League, as there have been significant issues with their regulations. The one regulation change in 2016, which was absolutely nonsensical, was to relax the rules that allowed clubs then to sell their stadiums and still be able to comply with the fair financial play regulations. I would ask the Minister, what consideration did the English Football League give to the idea that owners who were looking to gamble, whether they would use this loophole to and actually abuse the system, allowing them to spend huge amounts of money and separate the club from their stadium. The history of football is littered with examples of the consequences of a club being separated from the stadium and the financial problems that inevitably follow. Indeed, Wimbledon lost their entire club from the borough as a result of this loophole. The loophole has now been closed, but had the Derby County owner not had this option to sell the stadium, to circumvent the financial fair play rules, then, quite honestly, colleagues, I think we wouldn't be having this debate at all today. And there's no doubt in my mind that this presents a huge failing in regulation by the English Football League. I turn next to the Football Creditor Rule, which Derby County also fell foul of. I believe many weeks of this administration were spent dealing with legal claims against Derby County by Middlesbrough and, to a lesser extent, Wickham. And during this time, I spoke to both HMRC and the Middlesbrough Football Club owner about what, to many people, was a fairly opportunistic and spurious claim, but which undoubtedly was causing huge problems for the sale of the club. The reason being that these claims for so-called cheating were being categorised as a football debt by the English Football League, with a potential liability of over £40 million, which understandably made interested parties rather nervous, as you can never be 100% predict the outcome of any litigation, and this was during an administration. With the delays caused by this action, the value of the club decreased day after day, and it's ultimately cost the creditors money, creditors which include, of course, the taxpayer through the liability to HMRC. This example will surely put pressure on the Football Creditor Rule, a point I warned various regulators about, including the English Football League, while we've been going through this very painful process. My honourable friend, the member for Mid-Derbyshire, has been particularly critical of the administrator, Quantuma, and I think some of that is valid. Certainly the naivety and the failure of due diligence on the Kirchner bid has been particularly erroneous. However, I think they've certainly been poor on communication, but I would like to reserve some judgment. It will only be when this process is completed with a successful sale of Derby that the administrators will be able to put their side of the story and why certain actions had to be taken. I think we should be cautious about prejudging this, and we should give them an opportunity to defend themselves. But what's certain is that many Derby County supporters have suffered considerable distress over the last 9 months or more, and many creditors have been left out of pocket. And now, with the resolution looking likely, it's important that members of this House take necessary action to make sure that we do everything we can, the government does everything it can to learn from this painful process to ensure that the same mistakes are not made again. And I wish Derby County and its many supporters across the Midlands the very best for the future. And I hope that the new owners will cherish it. Thank you.
Thank you.